There's so many different issues right now, specifically because, you know, a lot of us want to justify the reason of not wearing gloves. And it's not just you protecting yourself, but you're also not spreading things to other people that you come in contact with. Your family is number one. I don't ever want to bring anything home and give it to my daughter or my husband. And number two, passing it from client to client. When you don't understand what your profession is, I have to come in and I have to say something. We are not massage therapists. We are estheticians, which means we treat skin. We are close to open skin. We are close to the eyes, nose, and mouth. Massage therapists do not touch the face, nor are they close to any opening, anal, vaginal, penis, or face. They don't touch any of those things. So those of you guys who are dual licensed, I understand why you don't want to wear gloves during a massage. I completely understand that. However, for estheticians, you are working on people's faces. You do not know what they walk in off the street having on their face. The other part, and the biggest part is you're assuming that every client that lays in your treatment room or comes to you for a treatment is healthy. No one has to disclose any of their medical history to us whatsoever. We cannot, by law, ask any of clients that we treat, even in a client consultation, we cannot ask them to disclose to us their healthy or health status. So then when you go and you start talking, and people always want to justify. I've never been a fan of justification. You don't know. So if you're risking yourself over a $15 brow wax or a $25 brow wax or whatever you want to do, if you're risking your health for that, so be it. But there is a reason why this is such a big debate, is because people want to justify why they don't. You can justify why you don't, but you also, absolutely, you also have to realize you put yourself at risk every time you touch someone's skin. So when I look, and I always watch and look and see what people say and the reason why they don't want to wear gloves, my question always is, so what is your health to you? Can you put a valuation on how your health is? Are you putting a dollar amount on your health? Because obviously you are. Your hands come in contact with a lot of chemicals. Over time, your hands are going to break down. So the breaking down will include dryness, flaking of skin, and chapping of skin. So to me, you tell your clients that it's sanitation plus the products after a while, they do affect your hands. They really do. So if you have a crack in your hand, if you have dry, flaky skin, you don't want that to be on the client. To me, that's the easiest thing to explain. Over time, I cannot continue to handle all of these chemicals and not have my hands be affected. I love my hands. My hands are what makes me money. So in order for me to do that, I need to make sure I protect them and you. You had to explain to a client that she was okay with the gloves. I don't really give an option whether you're okay or not. It should be more about the service. But then again, I'm not a usual esthetician. I'm not an esthetician that's going to feel like I have to justify why I want to make sure that you stay healthy and I stay healthy. But I like to explain it in that way as well. I want you to stay healthy and I want to be healthy. I'm in contact with a lot of people with my hands. So it's easier for me to protect you and me by wearing gloves. I use them all the way up until the massage, and then that's it. Massage, mask, and that's it. But remember, I only have one facial. So if we're doing a treatment, it's straight cleanse, we're exfoliating or microdermabrasion or whatever, I have gloves on. I have gloves on. There is no non-consistency, because I find that when you don't become a habitual glove user and you pick and choose when you want to wear them, you build holes into the story of making sure you're doing sanitation. Gloves are a standard, and that's the problem. And that's why I keep saying we can't command in our industry to be treated as professionals when a lot of us don't act like professionals. And acting like professionals means you wear gloves. You understand what you are exposed to, what you could be exposed to, and what you could transmit and transfer. So, I'm confused. My gloves are the ones that I sell. Everything that I sell in my business is what I use and what I love. And those are the Medline gloves. Those are aloe nitrile synthetic gloves. They're very thin at the tips, so you can still feel all of the temperature, but they're great for massage and facials and waxing. A lot of people don't realize the severity of acne. We always assume it's just bacteria. There's other reasons why people get acne and body acne. You got to understand the severity of what we deal with on a regular basis. And until you understand that, you won't justify or try to make excuses as to why you don't wear gloves. So I have worked in salons, I've worked for doctors, I've worked in doctors' offices, I've worked on my own, and I've always had the same level of sanitation. Because to me, it doesn't matter. My health, your health is just as important. My family's health is just as important. I don't want to transfer things from people to people. That's not why people come and see this. Absolutely. So, and I know sometimes my fingers peel too. And I think a lot of that has to do with just being in contact with chemicals over a long time. My cuticles peel as well. And it's not just, wearing, a Band-Aid or, putting the clear band. It's not about that. It's about making sure you're protecting not only the client, yourself, but the clients that always come in contact with you. That's really kind of it. And then if you take it a step further, a lot of us only want to look at clients who have acne or who have some kind of condition. You can have someone that has not one pustule on their face, but still can have a cold going on, or they still could have herpes of the eye, herpes of the nose, herpes of the mouth, and it hasn't just erupted yet. You don't know that. And a lot of us are not as sanitized as we think we are. We're not doing our sanitation as good as we could. Because technically, most of us are supposed to be keeping a chart of when we clean our quats in our barbicide in our treatment room. How many of us have our charts? Huh? That's learned in school. And everyone does have staph, especially staph in the nose. Absolutely. So it's really about becoming more aware. And if you really keep up with what's going on in the world, a lot of people who have diseases or who have any kind of viruses, a lot of the antibiotics are not working anymore, which means they're changing and morphing. So it's not just about protection. It's about understanding what you come in contact with as well. But if you live in the environment of you assume because you see things and you don't see them with your naked eye that they're not really there, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do for you. There's always consequences for working with knowledge but doing stupid things. I truly believe that even in life. Looks are extremely deceiving. And the ignorance that we voluntarily fall into when it comes to wearing gloves at some point is going to be the detriment to our industry. It really is. It really is. They're taking away a lot of things that we can do because we don't want to understand the effect we have on skin. We get mad when we're banned from doing this or we're banned from doing that. Had we followed the protocols and done what we were supposed to do within our scope of practice, we wouldn't get things snatched away. We wouldn't. But then when you want to argue and you want to justify why you don't want to do anything and no one cares about it, it's when someone gets injured or multiple people become injured that it becomes aware. Problem is we work with the knowledge and understanding that we can affect a lot of things that happen in the skin, but we don't care about our health, safety, and sanitation. Sanitation is not number one to us. What's number one to us is money. Number two comes clients. 3 comes maybe products and what services you offer. 4 and 5 might be sanitation. Sanitation is not number one in most of our services. It's just not. Because if it was, a lot of the habits that we have, we would not continue to perpetuate it. The fact that, a lot of people will say, I've been in the industry for 20 years and I've never had to wear gloves. That does not make it still right, though. 20 years ago, you didn't have estheticians getting sued by people because they're double dipping either. There was no lawsuit when someone double dipped. And there's been multiple lawsuits for estheticians double dipping because the client is saying that they caught something from that esthetician in that wax pot. You know why that they lose? Is because they do. Is there any scientific background to say that you can catch something from a wax pot? Not yet. Is it coming? Probably. But again, it comes back to the ignorance. You are doing things on purpose, thinking that you're not going to be affected or you're not doing anything wrong, when you know it's wrong.